Hello, Internet, and welcome to the game. Nope, wrong channel. Wrong channel. Well, hello there, and welcome to this fine new video on the Dunderedge YouTube channel. It's been like 2 weeks. Jack lost the cord to his mic, so it's going to be a bit before we can record gameplay videos. I'm really sorry about that. But if the little joke at the beginning of this video didn't tell you what this is going to be about, we're going to be doing a theory. A theory on what, you may ask? Well, it's a theory on a little game called Deltarune. If you're watching this video, then you most likely already know a solid amount about the game, especially the fact that the game has a really nice storytelling with a lot of possible lore bumps and really deep things to pick out and about the game. One of the things that I'm going to be bringing up here is a thought process I had at about 2 o'clock in the morning that I think is worth giving a good thought. Is Undertale's Underground a dark world? Now, honestly, I don't think this is far-fetched at all. Let's do a quick summary here. In Undertale, you play as a kid who falls into a hole that transports them into a world filled with inhuman entities that aren't really evil, and the only way to escape the place is by using a human soul to break the barrier. Now time for Deltarune. In Deltarune, you play as a kid who falls into a hole that transports them into a world filled with inhuman entities that aren't really evil, and the only way to escape this place is by using a human soul to break the dark fountain. Wait a second. Now, a lot of that was a joke, but you can't say the similarities aren't in place. But seriously, think for a second. In Undertale, humans banished the monsters into the underground because of a war that never had a specified reason for starting. What if the reason, though it is unfair, is because since there was nothing separating monsters, which we're assuming are the same as Darkners, the roaring was going to happen, or even had already started, and the only way to end it was by putting all the monsters into a separate world away from humans. Because if there was nothing holding back the darkness of the monsters, then what's stopping the roaring from happening? The exact legend of the roaring is that if there are too many dark fountains unleashed, then the sheer amount of darkness will bring the titans to envelop the world in darkness. So then it had to be contained by someone somehow, or else it would be happening already. Not only that, but why is no one talking about the fact that the Deltarune/Darkling crest is the exact same as the Dreamer crest? And if they were the king and queen of monsters, that would also, in this case, make them the king and queen of Darklings. Side note, by the way, that I'm pretty confident on, I think, in Chapter 3 of Deltarune, Toriel is going to be in the Dark World, and she's going to be dressed just like Undertale Toriel.
But Christian, the Dark Worlds are made and then based on different locations. Like Chapter 1's closet and Chapter 2's computer lab. It affects what the Dark Worlds look like. The Underground has no theme, so it couldn't be a Dark World.
It does have a theme. The Underground. The Dark World for Undertale could have just been made in a cave. The Underground is literally just a massive cavernous cave with many different locations that are cave-themed. This also makes a lot more sense with Gaster, with his famed dark, darker, yet darker journal entry. He's obviously talking about dark worlds, but not only that, what if he was just talking about the underground? Possibly even talking about opening new ones, which in the process he split himself across them. The point is, there is no reason the underground couldn't be a dark world. In fact, there's more to point to it being one than it not being one.
But you forgot something.
What?
When Chris and Susie leave their Dark World, you can clearly see what pieces and whatnot represent the different characters strewn across the floor. Why are monsters an exception from this rule?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. Thinking about that, it is something that hurts me quite a bit. It's very complicated. There's a few possible answers. Number 1. The monsters are just original Darkners, and so they are actually able to exist in reality, unlike the obviously new Darkners in Deltarune. This is most likely the closest one out of all of the possibilities. Number 2. The monsters in Deltarune are truly not Darkners at all, but being mistaken for them, the humans had sealed them up along with the Darkners in a different fountain to be safe. The problem with this is the obvious connection between the Dreamer crest and Darklings in general. And 3. This theory is just plain out wrong. But I think there is too much connection between the Dark Worlds and the Underground to dismiss the idea completely. There is some sort of connection here, we'll just have to wait and see, but when Chapter 3 releases and we see Toriel rocking the Dreamer crest, I'll be jumping in my seat, extremely happy that I called it. Thanks for watching this video. I literally just randomly thought about this at 2 a.m. in the morning one day and needed to share this with the world. But subscribe if you enjoyed this, and thank Jack for losing the cord to our mic to record gameplay footage, or else I have no idea when this would have been released. It's been an honor, and I'll see you in the next one.